Japanese engines have a reputation for lasting forever. But here's the thing, not all of them earn that reputation. Some are so bulletproof they'll outlive your mortgage, your marriage, and probably your kid's first car. Others will drain your wallet faster than a Las Vegas weekend and leave you stranded on the side of the highway, wondering where it all went wrong. We're talking about a Toyota that left the factory already broken, a family sedan hiding a monster inside, a Subaru that'll make you cry, and 4 engines, including one that has genuinely crossed 1 million miles, that prove Japan builds them like they mean it. Today, we're counting down 3 engines you should run from and 4 engines you should run to. These aren't just opinions, they're backed by real owner data, repair records, and decades of mechanical truth. Let's start with the pain. Worst 3. Toyota 7M GTE. Toyota's biggest mistake. Meet Toyota's biggest mistake. That's not a nickname we gave it lightly. The Toyota 7M GTE is the engine that proved even the most trusted name in reliability could get it spectacularly wrong. Built between 1986 and 1992, this was Toyota's first and only turbocharged engine in the M-Series family. On paper, it looked like a winner. A 3.0-liter inline-6 with a turbocharger bolted on, pushing out 230 horsepower and a healthy 246 pound-feet of torque. It powered the Toyota Supra MA70, one of the most iconic Japanese sports cars ever to hit American roads. Guys were lining up to buy it, and then reality hit. Here's where Toyota's engineers made a mistake so embarrassing, so fundamental, that it still gets talked about in garages across the country today. The head bolts were under-torqued straight from the factory. Not from wear, not from abuse, not from skipping oil changes, from the factory floor. What that means in plain English is this. The bolts holding your cylinder head down weren't tightened enough when the engine was built. And when those bolts aren't tight enough, the head gasket fails. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Coolant starts mixing with oil, temperatures spike, and before you know it, you're looking at a repair bill that makes grown men cry. Toyota issued a technical service bulletin, but never a full recall, so thousands of Supra owners were left holding the bag. And it didn't stop there. The connecting rods on the 7M GTE had a nasty habit of knocking. And when connecting rods knock, you're not far from a catastrophic bottom-end failure. The kind of failure where pieces of your engine end up places they were never designed to go. Mechanics who worked on these engines in the late 80s and early 90s will tell you the same thing. The 7M GTE kept their bays full and their invoices fat. The cruel irony? The Supra MA70 itself was a fantastic car. Great chassis, great looks, great driving feel, but Toyota's biggest mistake under the hood turned what should have been a legend into a cautionary tale. If you're shopping for a Supra MA70 today, the first thing any honest mechanic will tell you is this: pull the head, retorque the bolts, and replace the gasket before you drive it a single mile. The good news is the engine that eventually replaced it, the legendary 2JZ, learned every painful lesson the 7M GTE taught the hard way. But before we get to the good stuff, we need to talk about an engine hiding in millions of American driveways right now. An engine so dangerously close to failure that its nickname says it all. The sludge monster is next. And if you drive a Camry, an Avalon, or a Lexus ES300, you're going to want to hear this. Worst 2. Toyota 1MZ FE, the sludge monster. The sludge monster doesn't sound like something you'd find under the hood of a family sedan, but that's exactly where it lives. The Toyota 1MZ FE powered some of the most popular cars ever sold in America. The Toyota Camry, the Lexus ES300, and the Toyota Avalon, from '94 all the way to 2006. Millions of these engines are still out there, and millions of their owners have no idea what's quietly building up inside. Here's the problem. The 1MZ FE is a 3.0-liter V6 that produces a respectable 188 to 210 horsepower and smooth, refined torque that made it feel like exactly what Toyota promised. Quiet, comfortable, and confidence-inspiring right up until the moment it isn't. Because this engine has a fatal flaw that has nothing to do with how it was designed and everything to do with how most people treat it. The 1MZ FE builds oil sludge at an alarming rate if you push your oil changes even slightly past the recommended interval. We're not talking about going 10,000 miles without a change. We're talking about going 4,000 miles instead of 3,000. That's it. That small a delay, repeated a few times, and the sludge starts building up inside your engine like concrete in a pipe. It coats the oil passages, starves critical components of lubrication, and begins destroying the engine from the inside out. The first sign is usually a ticking noise. Then comes the oil pressure warning light, and then comes the repair estimate that makes you seriously consider public transportation. Head gasket failures follow close behind on sludged engines, and the VVTI, variable valve timing with intelligence, gear failures become common on high-mileage examples that weren't maintained religiously. By the time you notice something's wrong, the damage is already done. And here's the part that'll really make your blood boil. Toyota faced class action lawsuits over this. Owners who did everything right, who followed what they thought were reasonable service intervals, watched their engines die well before 100,000 miles. The Sludge Monster didn't just hurt engines, it hurt people who trusted the brand. If you own one of these engines right now, the message is brutally simple. Change your oil every 3,000 miles. No exceptions, no stretching it, no, I'll do it next week. Treat it right and the 1MZ-FE will serve you faithfully. Neglect it for even a moment and the Sludge Monster will remind you exactly how it earned that name. Now, if 2 Toyotas on the worst list surprised you, wait until you hear about an engine so infamous that its owners formed entire online forums just to share their horror stories. It's a Subaru, and we call it the head gasket horror. Worst one, Subaru EJ25, the head gasket horror. There are engine problems, and then there is the Subaru EJ25. We call it the head gasket horror. And if you've ever owned one of the naturally aspirated early versions, you already know exactly why. The EJ25 is a 2.5-liter flat-4 boxer engine that Subaru used in some of their most popular vehicles, the Outback, the Legacy, and the Forester, from 1996 through 2011. In naturally aspirated form, it made around 165 to 175 horsepower and modest torque numbers that suited a practical family car just fine. But the number that really matters with this engine isn't the horsepower, it's the mileage at which the head gaskets fail, and that number is brutal, often before 100,000 miles. Sometimes well before. The EJ25's boxer layout, where the cylinders lie flat and horizontally opposed, creates unique thermal stress on the head gaskets that the early design simply couldn't handle long term. Coolant starts seeping where it shouldn't, oil starts mixing where it never should, and if you don't catch it early, you're looking at overheating, warped heads, and a repair bill that can run anywhere from $1,500 to $4,000. What makes the head gasket horror truly horrifying is how quietly it happens. There's no dramatic bang, no warning light screaming at you, just a slow, invisible leak that builds over months until one day your temperature gauge starts climbing and you realize the damage is already done. Subaru revised the head gasket design multiple times trying to fix it, which tells you everything you need to know about how serious the issue was. The timing belt is another landmine on this engine. Miss that replacement interval, and on the EJ25 that means every 60,000 miles, and you're looking at catastrophic engine destruction. No second chances, no warning. Just silence where your engine used to be. If you own an early EJ25 powered Subaru right now, do yourself a favor. Replace the head gaskets preventatively at 80,000 miles and change that timing belt on schedule like your engine's life depends on it. Because it does. The Subaru community is passionate, loyal, and deeply forgiving of this engine's flaws. But even the most devoted Subi fans will tell you, the head gasket horror earned every word of that nickname. Alright, we've covered 3 engines that will test your patience, your wallet, and your faith in Japanese engineering. A factory defect that Toyota hoped you'd forget. A sludge problem hiding in millions of American driveways. And a head gasket nightmare that built an entire online support community. But here's the thing about Japanese engineering. When they get it right, they get it so right it's almost unfair. So let's talk about the engines that will make you fall in love with Japanese engineering all over again, starting with a rally weapon that was born in the dirt and built to last forever. Best 4, Mitsubishi 4G63T, the Rally Monster. If the last 3 engines made you nervous about buying Japanese, this next one is about to change your mind completely. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Rally Monster, the Mitsubishi 4G63T. And that T stands for turbocharged, is one of the most celebrated performance engines ever bolted into a production car. Built from 1987 all the way through 2007, this 2.0-liter turbocharged inline-4 powered the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution, the car that made rally drivers out of regular guys and turned suburban streets into stage roads. In stock form, it pushed out 244 to 276 horsepower and 228 to 284 pound-feet of torque. But those numbers only tell half the story. The real story is what this engine can handle. The 4G63T was built with a cast iron block, old school, heavy, and virtually indestructible. While other manufacturers were chasing lightweight aluminum, Mitsubishi gave their rally engine a foundation that could absorb punishment that would destroy lesser motors. And absorb punishment it did. This engine competed at the highest levels of the World Rally Championship, real racing on real dirt roads in real weather. And it didn't just survive, it dominated. The Lancer Evolution became a weapon in the hands of rally drivers worldwide, and the 4G63T was the reason why. But here's what makes the Rally Monster truly special for regular guys like you and me. With the right modifications, this engine has been pushed well past 400 horsepower on the street, and in full race builds beyond 600 while somehow still making it home for dinner. The aftermarket support for the 4G63T is enormous. Turbos, intercoolers, fuel systems, internals, everything you need to build your dream machine is out there, and it won't cost you a fortune. The weak points are manageable if you stay on top of maintenance. Head gaskets can fail under sustained high boost if you're not careful. Turbo life depends heavily on clean oil, so change it every 3,500 miles if you're pushing this engine hard. And inspect those intercooler couplings annually because aged rubber and boost pressure are not a good combination. But treat the rally monster with the respect it deserves, and it will reward you with performance that punches so far above its price point it almost feels like cheating. Speaking of engines that feel like cheating, up next is one that's been the heartbeat of the tuner community for over 2 decades, the most swapped engine in automotive history. They call it the People's Champion, and it earned that title one rev at a time. Best 3, Honda K-Series, K20, K24, the People's Champion. That's a big title to carry, but the Honda K-Series, specifically the K20 and K24, has been earning it every single day since 2001. This 2.0 to 2.4 liter inline-4 is the most swapped engine in automotive history. Think about that for a second. Of all the engines ever built in every country by every manufacturer, this is the one that enthusiasts pull out of one car and drop into another more than any other engine on the planet. That doesn't happen by accident. The K20 in the Honda Civic Type R revs past 8,000 RPM, revolutions per minute, with a mechanical precision that makes every other 4-cylinder feel like it's trying too hard. Honda's VTEC, variable valve timing and lift electronic control, is the secret weapon here. Below the crossover point, it's smooth, efficient, and easy on fuel. Hit that crossover and the engine transforms, pulling hard all the way to redline with a sound that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. It's like having 2 completely different engines in one. The K24, the torquier, calmer sibling found in the Honda Accord and Honda CR-V, is the engine that quietly racks up 250,000 miles while its owner brags about never having a problem. Toyota engineers have taken notes. We're just saying, the K-Series has been used in time attack racing, drag racing, and road racing, often in cars it was never designed for. And it handles every application with the same unshakable reliability. The lightweight aluminum block keeps weight down without sacrificing strength. The timing chain, not a belt, means one less maintenance landmine to worry about. And the aftermarket? Enormous doesn't begin to cover it. Turbo kits, supercharger kits, high compression, naturally aspirated builds. The K-Series does it all. Watch for VTEC solenoid failures on high mileage examples, and keep an eye on oil consumption as the miles stack up. But change your oil every 5,000 miles with quality synthetic, and this engine will run circles around machines twice its price. The People's Champion isn't just a nickname, it's a statement of fact backed by millions of miles of real-world proof. But if the K-Series is the People's Champion, the engine coming up next is something else entirely. It's the engine that governments tried to contain, that tuners turned into a 4-digit horsepower monster, and that car lovers around the world know by one name alone, Godzilla's heartbeat. And trust us, you're going to want to hear this story. Best 2, Nissan RB26 DETT, Godzilla's heartbeat. Say the word Godzilla to any car guy over 30 and watch what happens. Their eyes light up, because they know exactly what you're talking about. The Nissan Skyline GTR, nicknamed Godzilla by the Australian motoring press in 1989, was so dominant on the racetrack that competing series literally changed their rules to slow it down. And the reason it was so dominant was the engine sitting under that hood. Godzilla's heartbeat. The Nissan RB26 DETT, RB for the engine family, 26 for its 2.6-liter displacement, D for dual overhead camshafts, E for electronic fuel injection, and TT for twin turbocharged. Built from 1989 to 2002, this 2.6-liter twin turbocharged inline-6 officially produced 276 horsepower. We say officially because of something called the Gentleman's Agreement, an informal pact between Japanese automakers to cap advertised power at 276 horsepower to keep insurance regulators happy. In reality, the RB26 DETT was making closer to 320 horsepower straight from the factory. And that was just the beginning. The engine was built with a cast iron block so strong that tuners have been pushing it past 1,000 horsepower for decades on the stock block and driving those cars on public roads. Not trailer queens, not track-only builds. Daily drivers, individual throttle bodies feed each cylinder with precision that most engines can only dream about. The twin ceramic turbochargers spool quickly and deliver power with a surge that pins you to your seat and doesn't let go until you lift. The RB26 DETT powered the R32, R33, and R34 generations of the Skyline GTR, winning the Japanese Touring Car Championship so convincingly that officials eventually banned it from competition. That's not a rumor, that's history. Maintenance on Godzilla's heartbeat is straightforward if you respect what it is. Change the oil every 4,000 miles with full synthetic. Watch the ceramic turbos, they can crack under extreme heat cycles, and upgrading to steel units is smart money if you're pushing power. And keep that oil system healthy. At high G forces on a track, oil starvation becomes a real concern without proper baffling. But for a street car, for a weekend warrior that you want to drive hard and drive forever, Godzilla's heartbeat is one of the greatest engines ever assembled by human hands. And yet, as incredible as the RB26 DET is, The engine sitting at number 1 on our list today has something even Godzilla can't claim. It has outlived everything. Wars, recessions, 3 generations of owners. They call it the cockroach. And when you hear why, you'll understand immediately. Best 1, Toyota 22R, 22RE, the cockroach. There's an old saying that cockroaches will outlive everything on this planet. They survived the dinosaurs, they'll survive us, and in the automotive world, one engine has earned that same reputation. The cockroach, the Toyota 22R, and its fuel-injected sibling, the 22RE, is the closest thing to an immortal engine that the automotive world has ever produced. Built from 1981 to 1995, this 2.4-liter inline-4 powered the Toyota Hilux pickup, the Toyota 4Runner, and the Toyota Celica. And it did so with a simplicity and toughness that modern engineers can barely comprehend. It made modest horsepower and around 140 pound-feet of torque. Those are not impressive numbers by any modern standard. But here's the thing, the 22R and 22RE were never about impressive numbers. They were about one thing and one thing only, surviving everything you could possibly throw at them. These engines have been documented running past 500,000 miles, some have crossed 1 million, not with exotic maintenance routines or expensive modifications, with regular oil changes, basic upkeep, and the kind of mechanical honesty that only comes from a truly over-engineered design. The secret is in the simplicity. Cast iron block, no variable valve timing to fail, no direct injection to carbon up, no turbos to blow, just clean, honest, mechanical engineering doing exactly what it was designed to do for decades. The 22R and 22RE powered Toyota trucks that crossed deserts, climbed mountains, and worked job sites 6 days a week for 30 years without complaint. There are Toyota Hilux trucks running in the Australian outback and African bush right now with over 400,000 miles on the clock, maintained with nothing more than basic oil changes and a prayer. That's not marketing, that's the 22R's real-world legacy. And it's the same indestructible DNA that runs through every 22R and 22RE ever built. The BBC's Top Gear famously tried to destroy a Toyota Hilux. And while that particular truck ran a diesel, the spirit was identical. They drove it into the sea, they dropped a building on it, they set it on fire. It started every time. That's the 22R and 22RE in a nutshell. If you own one, the maintenance advice is almost embarrassingly simple. Change the oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Replace the timing chain if you hear it rattling. Keep the cooling system clean and the temperature gauge out of the red. Do those 3 things and the cockroach will still be running long after everything else in your garage has turned to rust. It is not the most powerful engine on this list, it is not the most exciting, it is not the most technologically advanced, but it is, without question, the greatest Japanese engine ever built for the long haul. So there you have it, 3 engines that will cost you sleep, money, and sanity, the Toyota 7M GTE with its factory defective head bolts that Toyota hoped you'd forget, the Toyota 1MZ FE and its sludge problem that hurt people who trusted the brand, and the Subaru EJ25 and its head gasket horror that the Subaru community knows all too well. And 4 engines that represent the very best Japanese engineering has ever offered. The Mitsubishi 4G63T Rally Warrior born in the dirt, the Honda K-Series that the whole world wants to swap into everything, Godzilla's heartbeat, the RB26D ETT that governments tried to contain, and the immortal Toyota 22R and 22RE that simply refuses to die. This is Tom from Seats and Wheels, thanks for watching.